Let's begin with a drum set. Listen for an explosive live sound. The snare should be crisp and the cymbals should ring.
I admire you when my living has a limit of desire to keep it going. I'm just knowing that my time with you makes a difference. How I'm feeling when I vibe with you. They can't divide us two. We got a bond like 007, right? Even on Devil's Night, you show me what the heavens like. Go ahead and spread your light, though I can barely see. I know you're there with me, my personal therapy. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary. You inspire me, look at you crazy when you tell me you admire me. Not an example for anybody to try to be. We'll call you bluff, but I know you wouldn't lie to me. Just a surprise to me, we got a bond tight, no one can come between. I have respect for you, you have your love for me, and that's enough for me. All I need to get by, let me be the method to your Mary J. Blige. So many times I felt defeated, you always know the right thing to say for when I need it. I wanna do the same thing for you to keep it even. You can call me anytime, you don't ever need a reason. I'm right here with you, never could forget you. All the things that we've been through, everything we went through, hey, none of it was simple, but I'm right here with you. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
What is the three? What is the three? Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is now 8 o'clock a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. You heard the last part of a great. We got a thing going on today. We got We got a way for you to win some tickets to a great show tonight. It's coming up very soon, so I can't if you want 8:10, as you guys know. So yeah, right. We got a whole thing. What a Thursday! It's a great Thursday. We have a great guest with us today, ladies and gentlemen. We have a friend of the show. We have a dedicated community servant. We have probably the best dressed person since Sammy Davis Jr., I must say. And that trail of superlatives leads to only one person, our friend Nick Thompson. How are you? Good to see you. You got the Kenny G voice on too. You know, you can get so we've got the news that you guys love. We've got a way for you to win tickets too. We've got some questions for you for trivia, and we've also got Gabriel Bradford. Good morning to you, Gabriel Bradford, my man. I was at the Alive Teen Center last night. It was really cool. But we've got tickets for you to win. We've got a riddle for you, and we've got some great questions for you as well. Monica, how you feeling?
I'm doing great today.
All right. Rock on with the Green Fest. So, before we get started into things, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? And, you know, I gave the folks your name, but tell us what you do and who you are.
Sure, yeah. You know, Nicholas Rashard Thompson. I am the city of Aurora employee.
Okay.
I'm a community, you know, like you mentioned it, you know, I don't really like the word activist, but, you know, I'm an organizer. So I try to be deeply immersed in what's going on in the community and try to help where I can. You know, I'm a son, you know, shout out to my mama Adele. And yeah, just somebody who, you know, loves Aurora.
That's right. So in your capacity, we're here to talk about Simply Destinee today.
Indeed.
What's going on with Simply Destinee?
Absolutely. So Simply Destinee has their yearly, like, it's essentially like their largest fundraiser.
Okay.
And they do something called Dancing with Our Stars.
Oh, okay.
So if you're familiar with Dancing with the Stars, you're already halfway there, right? So essentially they select members of the community who they, you know, and this is because they find people who they identify as stars, right? And
right.
I put quotes around that. I'm not saying I'm a star. And then they match these people with people in the program, children in the program, to dance. So you build a choreography, you build a routine, you get closer, you get to know each other, and then you perform at this event, Dancing with Our Stars.
Okay.
And all the money and proceeds go to Simply Destinee and all the programs they're doing, keeping the lights on and things of that nature. So all that. Yeah.
Awesome. And there's a lot of other stars taking place in this because Simply Destinee on their Facebook and their social media, they've had a lot of pictures of some of our good people.
Yeah.
Who else is taking part in this?
You got people like Bahati.
All right.
She works for the city of Aurora as well. You know, you got Sky Khalees from the Aurora Police Department.
Girls Run the World.
Yes. That is her indeed. There's about 8 of us. I think 2 people at this juncture are no longer a part of it.
Okay.
Martin.
Why they can't dance? Is that the reason?
No. You know what? You know, they're never gonna win no way because I was always picking the dub.
Right.
But I think some people just had, you know, schedule conflicts, maybe
right.
injuries even. You got Martin from Simply Destinee, who, you know,
shout out to our friend Martin Luna.
Yeah, he'll be in it. I think that's cheating because, like, he obviously knows how to dance.
Right.
We got a brother named Matty Merrick. We have, I'm trying to think of these people's names. Karen Hollis, she'll be there. And I think there's a Daniel, a Jeanette,
okay.
Frankie, and then Sandra Harrison as well. She works over there at the Thrive Center. Yep, Light. Yeah, you're familiar with Light.
Oh, yeah. Leaders in Transformational Education.
Yep.
Doing great stuff. So the most important question of all this is, can you dance? Is this going to be live? We're gonna see this, right?
You're going to see this, yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I feel like I'm prepared. I feel I'm confident. Me and my partner have been training rigorously.
Okay.
And
Ooh,
we have
good word.
I think we are, you know, synchronized and have put together a routine. And this is my thing too. I think we put together a routine that is most engaging.
Okay.
So my argument with her was, I was like, yo, if we're not the best dancers, right, we will have the best performance. So
there you go.
If anybody is looking forward to tonight, like, that's what you should be waiting on. We're going to have the best performance. I can guarantee that. We may not be the best, like, steppers, per se, dancing
right.
in the formal way, but I know we're going to put on a show.
How does the judging work?
So, to my understanding, I I think 2 of the judges. I think one is Simon Rodriguez from the city of Aurora. One is, I think, Judge Lafshe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, word.
I'm trying to think of the other 2, but the other 4. But essentially, how the judging works, to my understanding, they didn't give us too much information, which I think is probably fair.
Right.
They're going to be judging based on like appearance, clothing, so like the fashion, and then like the length of it, and then like the actual formal dancing, more technical aspects of it.
Okay, all right. And all the proceeds will benefit Simply Destinee.
Correct.
Simply Destinee is located at 122 West Downer Place. It's in the building, the Legal Arts Building, that houses both Gremlin and at the end is the Aurora Tap House now. Yep. Fun fact: we were in Gremlin recording for a very long time. Gremlin's where we went to after the bathroom. That was an interesting time. So you're ready, partner's ready, and who's your partner again?
Victoria.
Yeah. Okay. We wish you guys. Yeah, I would tell you break a leg, but we don't want you to do that.
Probably
we don't
not.
want you to do that.
No.
So we do have questions
Yeah.
that we have for people to win the tickets tonight. Jennifer Ryan Mayton is here. Good morning, Jennifer Ryan Mayton. Victoria Hyla Maldonado and Addie Rubio is here. Addie Rubio and I and Gabriel Bradford. I was part of the TAB last night, the Teen Advisory Board for Live Teen Center. It was great time. I got to talk to the youngsters about public speaking and share a little bit about myself, and it was very emotionally refreshing.
I love that.
It really was. It really felt good to, help show some young people that, you know what, no matter what, your boat is going to get rocked.
Sure.
The water is going to get choppy in
Always.
life, but don't get scared. You got this. Use that fear, turn it into fuel. Just keep pushing.
Resilience and perseverance.
Absolutely. But good morning to you, Yolanda Dunn. Before we get into the questions, I do want to mention a quick news article for you guys. There's a new city greenhouse near downtown Aurora. Beautifying a municipality's landscape each spring can be an expensive proposition if it means hauling in truckloads of flowers and shrubbery to decorate the town. But the city of Aurora has come up with what it thinks is a better, more economical idea by electing to raise its own perennials and more. Over a year ago, city officials began reviewing bids for a greenhouse that would be used to raise plants to beautify the city. More than 2 years in the making, the new hoop house style greenhouse is now situated just south of the downtown area and was recently toured by local business owners, city staff, and others during a morning coffee and donut event. Very cool. The city's horticulturist is Kathy Hayen. Very cool. She's been a horticulturist for the city of Aurora for 8 years. She said Aurora Downtown Services Manager Abby Schuler has been vital to the process of starting the new facility. Go on out there, check it out. We love flowers, we love nature, and a greenhouse is a good thing for us to have here in the city. The time is 8:09 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora. Okay, should we give him the prominent figure one, or should we give him the year the Aurora was incorporated? What should we hit them with?
We will hit them with...
Or do the riddle? I mean,
I was going to say, let's start off strong. Give them the riddle.
Okay.
Because that started the morning and got me critically thinking. Let's start their morning off strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Addie Rubio put the 5 Ps. Yes, the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Thank you very much for that, Addie. Thank you very much for that. Shouts out. Okay. Here's the riddle, ladies and gentlemen. And if you get this riddle correct, you can win a pair of tickets to tonight's Dancing with the Stars. And actually, hold them up. Hold them up for the people so they see that. Y'all see that.
We actually have the tickets in the house. This is what they look like. In the event that you win, you won't be getting the tickets, but you will be able to be invited to the event.
Right. We'll have your name. We'll present your name, and you'll give your name at the door, and you
Correct.
are in there. Okay. Here is the riddle, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for this. What walks on 4 legs, then 2 legs, and then 3 legs? Again, the riddle of the day. What walks on 4 legs, then 2 legs, then 3 legs? If you get that correct, you can win a pair of tickets. The time is 8:11 a.m. Javier Burgos is here. Good morning to you, sir. So a lot of people who watch the show, they may be somewhat familiar with Simply Destinee. They've seen it or they follow the page on Facebook. What is the mission of Simply Destinee?
So, what's been great is I've worked with Simply Destinee in the past, and I had, I think, a pretty strong understanding. But even working with them further now, I think I have a large understanding, especially being able to work in their facility,
right,
and work out with the partner, getting the dance routine together, talking to other people who come in and out, seeing the children come in and out, and broadly it is suicide prevention. Right. I think that's always going to be the mission of it. But furthermore, I think additionally, the organization is just really a place for kids to belong. Talking to some of the kids there, what Simply Destinee has provided, just as a space, a place for them to be, and to have the resources to go on computers, places to do homework, places sometimes to escape, right, and to make friends, right, perhaps. And it's all these things, and I think it is like a youth program that is vitally important to the city. Right. Suicide prevention is something we should always be working towards, and especially, I'm a big advocate. Like, what resources can we provide for our kids? Right. The kids I think the backbone of any strong community, any prosperous community, you can usually measure by what are you putting into the kids. Right. What are you doing for the children? And Simply Destinee is such, I think, like I said, a vitally important organization that is doing critical work for the Aurora community.
I think that the Simply Destinees and the Alive Teen Centers, I keep mentioning them because I was just there last night. The Alives and the Simply Destinees, and in many ways, some of the different activities that Treadwell gets into, it's organizations who could be doing many things, but they choose to focus on youth and the issues that young people have. And I think that for a long time, society has not focused on, I'm not criticizing, I think we've just collectively as a society not thought anything about the youth and helping them, because we've always just figured, well, they got parents, they can just go home and take care of it. It's the extracurricular activities that are available to youth now, I think, that has grown and mushroomed, and I'm happy for that. So the question is that the case? Do you feel that society has missed the youth and now we're catching up and now we're providing service, or has it been there but just not noticed?
I think there's two ways to answer it, and I think it's actually a really good observation. I do believe at times, societally, youth and the elderly are neglected. I think those are two groups that are oftentimes neglected for similar reasons, right? Children aren't old enough to have an opinion, so then oftentimes their problems are trivialized, their emotions are trivialized. The elderly, are no longer seen as people who are productive in society, right? So then they're cast to the side. So with children in particular, I find, for me, I've always believed this as an African proverb: it takes a village. I'm sure you're familiar with that. Yep. And how I grew up with a large family, 9 siblings, me being the youngest, nieces and nephews, and raising a child and developing the development of youth does take different people. The parents are vitally important, but the parents can't provide everything, nor should they have to, right? There's aunts and uncles and nieces and cousins and things like that should be able to step in and provide for that. So I think more and more there are efforts being made in the nonprofit sector in particular to invest into youth and their development, whether it's emotionally, intellectually, or just giving them their health too, right? Their physical health. And I think all of that is something we should be striving towards. And to answer the question, I think we have neglected it, and I think there's so much more we can do. I don't think it's at on a societal level, I don't think it's at where I would want to be at, right? Because I really do believe it takes a village, and two, so culturally, I want to change how we see raising children, right? But two, I also want to change how much effort, how much resources, and when it comes down to it, how much of a budget is going into your kids, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Alive isn't a church. It's a community Christian church. That's the building that they're in. And sometimes, man, even if you aren't able to give with money, allowing for space is just as important.
It's having land is so important.
It is. It totally is. Now that's a conversation that could. I like how you did that. Right?
Listen.
like how you did
You already know I'm
that. Yeah,
complaining.
that's a conversation that could keep going. But it is important, and I do believe that, Martin had a good vision. Martin Luna had a great vision and has a great vision with Simply Destinee. Because from what I have seen with it, everybody is welcome there. You don't have to check a box to get in. That's not necessary. And I'm happy with that, because for a lot of times that has been, in my experience, that's been the case. If you're not on the list, or if you haven't registered, you're not able to take part, even if it can help you. And I think that the barriers that society has, I think that's been a problem. The barriers.
For sure, exclusion.
Yep.
And I do want to give props to Liza.
Yeah.
So the day that all the mentors and the dancers or the stars met, she gave a really impassioned speech about why she does the work, and it was just one. It was so important and beautiful to hear. I developed a further admiration, appreciation for Simply Destinee, and something she said was, nobody gets turned away. And anybody doing that, I support, because out here, when resources are limited, it's just a reality. And you have organizations that sometimes inevitably have to, I think, unfortunately, capitulate to their values and then turn folks away. But that doesn't happen at Simply Destinee, right? They are making sure that if a child comes through that door, they are going to get the full experience that anybody else would.
Right. And
that is so important. So, for folks listening, if you're looking for an organization to support monetarily, or just to support by volunteering, or like what me and Curtis were talking about, space of any kind, anything you can give, have this be one of the ones at the forefront.
Right.
So,
all right. But Victoria Hyla Maldonado says that she knows the answer, but she can't go tonight. Thank you for not sharing the answer, Victoria. Much appreciated. See, this is the kind of show we got. We got principled listeners. Thank you very much. Mortal Jacobo, good morning. Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre, good morning. Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre has been listening to Good Morning Aurora since the bathroom days, y'all. She was one of the first people who ever hit the like button when we only had 2 listens. She was one of them. Her, Tracy Durant, man. Happy Thursday to you as well. Jen Mendoza, friend of the show. Shouts out to the Greater Fox Valley Area Kiwanis Club. And Karina Suarez Darden, good morning, everyone. Hi, Nick. Good luck tonight.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Anna Sierra, Judge Bianca Camargo is here. Good morning to you. Miss Loving Life Freeman, good morning to you as well. The time is 8:19. Okay. So, have you taken part in any other of these kind of activities for nonprofits or things like that? Now, I'm familiar with the things that you do to help the community in different capacities, but tell the folks what else you do in regards to this kind of work.
That pertains to children or youth?
Yeah, youth and children, yeah.
Definitely. So I'm part of Triumph at Wabanzi.
Okay.
And essentially that is it's a mentoring program, and it's for college age youth, but like still young men who come through the program, primarily black and brown, who come from a specific like income, and like first generation college students. And I've been with that program for I would say almost like 3 years at this point now. And I feel so fortunate, because when I was growing up, I definitely could have benefited from a mentor at like 17, 18. Because we had a conversation off camera, like my life trajectory changed at 19. And I feel like I would have gotten my life, I would say, together if I had a mentor, right? So with that program, what essentially is, I meet with these kids, when they can. I was trying to make it easy for them because of their schedules. And, it is like having like someone in their life who has gone through similar things.
Right.
And then I'm able to just guide them, give them different thoughts. We meet for coffee. I get dinner with them. And like, it really is like a brother relation. One of them said that. He's like, I've never had a brother, and this is what that feels like. And that makes me feel great, right? That makes me feel great. Then, doing work just throughout the community for like other mentoring. So we have a program that is done at the middle schools, and hopefully it can expand. Specifically this past semester of school, it's been at Fisher Middle School. Okay. So I go, and then I take 3 other mentors from the city of Aurora, and that's Sadiq Rashid, Simon Rodriguez, and Denzel Hudson, and Julian Spencer from different departments. And Pastor Spencer. Yes. Right. Yeah, you know everything, brother. You know all the folks. You know all the players.
It's the news.
Yeah, And we go and we develop like a program that will speak to their emotional intelligence, speak to their values and like virtues and building that, and then also hard skills like tying a tie. public speaking. We did that with them, right? And really like developing a relationship with these kids that are in 7th grade, 6th and 7th grade. And it's a part of the Boys to Men. If you're familiar with Clayton Muhammad, when he started, that's really what
Shout
it
out to
originated
Boys to
from.
Men.
Yeah,
Right.
shout out to Boys to Men. That's originally what started it, and now the principal, Jacqueline Spries, reached out and asked me to continue it. So I put my own spin on it, of course, and it was really effective. It was really great. We're going to be doing it next year. My aim, and hopefully we'll see, and my capacity with the city will be expanding it to other junior highs. Because I think it was really effective.
That's a crucial age too.
100%.
That is a crucial age. I was showing the kids last night slides from my life at that exact same time. That was the moment where I needed somebody or a mentor or whatever the case may be. How you see yourself when you're young, or rather, and what you see in front of you is very important to what shapes your reality. If you can't see nothing besides, if the most you can see achieving is becoming a security guard for whatever industrial. Remember, we were going to Chicago. I told you when we were driving down the highway, factories, industrial lots, and truck facilities. Yeah. That's all that existed. I knew I could get a job doing that when I was a kid, but that's really the only job I ever saw myself doing as a kid. So it's like, wow, I'm reading National Geographic about Peru, but how am I ever going to get to Peru? Or wherever the case may be. So good job with that, man. And we have a question actually in the comments about that too. So Vanessa Rodriguez says, excuse me, is there anything available for girls similar to Triumph?
Triumph does have I forget what it's called, but it's at Wabanzi. It is at Wabanzi. They have it for girls. It's like it's a sister program of Triumph. And I'm sorry the name escapes me. But yes, Wabanzi Community College does have that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Pretty sure it's still going.
Vanessa, they do have that. We'll see what we can do. If we come across we'll see if we can get some information for you. Tanya Hernandez, good morning to you, Tanya. Michael Rayford, good morning, brother. Good morning, my people. It's a beautiful day. At Michael Rayford Media, shouts out to the brother. Jerome Bacala Gololo. First time seeing that name. I hope that you're doing good today, Jerome. And Anna Tradia, good morning to you, dear friend. Get to know Spots on the Fox, one of the greatest organizations dedicated to, well, a lot of things, making sure that vendors and people have the dynamic products from all of us local vendors and suppliers that you can afford. Get ready for junior spots and author spots as well. The time is 8:24 a.m. Monica, would you please take us to a commercial and give us a little bit of news? Came out of nowhere too. She was.
Yes, I was not ready. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Here are your local headlines. Real news, real people, real stories, 100% Aurora. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. Going to the 17th of May, the Disabilities Listening Tour will meet at various locations in Aurora, hosted by the Seniors and Disabilities Services Department of the City of Aurora. This initiative aims to connect individuals with direct resources. This is a very helpful way to voice the concerns of all members of our community. Scan the QR code on the flyer, or you can call 630-256-4636 for more information. Get ready for the community market. This will be in partnership with the Aurora Pride Parade, taking place June 12th. Do you sell unique items? Well, you can be a vendor. This is brought to us by Indivisible Aurora. And I'll be sharing a link so you guys can apply to be a vendor. And remember, the Village Food Pantry is opened at Village Baptist Church to anyone in need. Village Baptist is located at 515 South Frontenac Road. A photo ID is required, and the pantry is open the second and fourth Friday of each month from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Come as early as 8:30 a.m. and enjoy coffee and donuts, and also join them for Sunday worship as well. And for more information, feel free to call 630-851-4120.
Thank you very much, Monica. Much appreciated. That is the news for the moment. The time is 8:26 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Jasmine, our dear friend, is here. She said the state representative Barbara Hernandez was her mentor in high school. Shouts all the way out. Michael Rayford also said, if you can see it, you can believe. Absolutely. He wants to know how he can help. Mr. Rayford, you know that you can help, and you always do all of the time. One of the big things that's been helping us is information. And actually, that reminds me, Monica, leave us on commercial mode here for a second, because I do have some news, and I apologize real quick, you guys. I have some news to tell you from our dear friend, Mr. Rayford. Let me see if I can find it here. Aha, there it is. Okay. So, Mr. Rayford is a financial professional, and he has done many, many, many great things. One of the great initiatives that he has coming up is on Tuesday, May 17th. Build Wealth, the retirement roadmap for tomorrow. This is sponsored by the Heartland Institute of Financial Education. This will take place again Tuesday, May 17th from 6:30 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. and it'll take place at 1 Trans Am Plaza Drive, Suite 500 in Oak Brook Terrace, 60181. Special guest will be Global Atlantic Financial Group. The schedule is as follows. 6:30 to 6:50 p.m. will be the meet and greet. 7 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. will be Building Long-Term Wealth. 7:45 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. will be guest reception, with 8:15 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. being associate training. This is based on the best-selling book featured on CNBC, ABC, Fox, CBS, Wall Street Journal, U.S. News, and CNN. Yes, you heard it here. The time is 8:28. Okay, Nick. Now here's the thing. Well, actually, let me reiterate to the folks. Remember, tickets. You can win tickets to tonight's Simply Destinee Dancing with the Stars if you can answer this riddle. And could you put the riddle in the chat for the folks, please? The riddle is, what walks on 4 legs, then on 2, then on 3? Do you know it? Do you know it? What walks on 4 legs, then on 2, then on 3? The time is 8:28. All right, Nick, here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
In Aurora, and we're going to stick with our area here in downtown, we've seen a lot of new changes. Galena and Broadway, we got the terminal building coming up. Brand new windows. The facade is looking good. We've got the DAC, we got the apartments coming on the that's going to be the east side of the river, right there in the parking lot of Jake's Bagels.
Down there by the pavilion. Yeah.
Yep. I'm optimistic about how we're moving along. How do you feel?
I would say so. Only thing that I would additionally add, and this has to remain to be seen, and this is a conversation that I've had with other people before, and I was actually on the Illinois Green Party talking about this. You know, when you're bringing in developments, there should always be some cognizance to ensure that people and places are not priced out.
Right.
Like the natives to that place, the people who've been there a long time, and then the word affordable is highly subjective, right? And affordability on a speculative market is almost an implausibility, right? So I'm always careful when people say, "Oh, this is gonna be affordable." I'm like, for whom, right?
Right.
So, but that being said, I love the city, and I think it's been a long time coming to see more developments, not only economically but culturally, right? And I think culturally, the city has developed. I think artistically, it is in a renaissance, and especially if you're looking for it, you'll find it.
Yes.
And there's so much more that's to come. And just me working for the city and then being an artist and someone who's like immersed in it, I see it all the time. So if there's work you want to be doing, if there's things you want to get involved with, whether it's civically, artistically, you can now. You can definitely. And it's about more people involved, I think, the better. So I'll leave it with that. The more people that are involved with these things, showing up to city council, showing up to the finance meetings, and it only takes a village of like 3, 4, 5 dedicated people to sway at least an opinion or influence something, and then you more and more. So I'm always big on organization, right?
Right.
Malcolm X said, we're not outnumbered, we're out-organized.
Right.
So if you want to get something done, you want to change something that you're seeing, just get some people around you, get a plan, go implement.
Yeah. I try to let folks know on the show, well, we have tried for a long time to, like, let people know to watch and take part in what's already taking place. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. The city of Aurora city council meetings have been there forever. So if you watch them, you will learn what's already happening there, or what the city is already doing. So we've gave them the riddle. I don't see anybody answers yet. Francis Rodriguez, good morning. Nobody's answered it yet. Should we hit them with one of these?
The second one, I want to move to the second one because that's what I came up with. So I'll move to the second question.
All right. Now, if you did not get the riddle, we have a second question for you, and this is still your chance to win 2 tickets to tonight's Dancing with the Stars event, benefiting Simply Destinee. Listen up. A prominent figure in the civil rights movement who was an advocate for human rights. This person also has an upcoming birthday, an educational institute named after them, and was originally from Omaha, Nebraska. Who is or was that person? The time is 8:32 a.m.
I'll additionally add this. If you know me, you probably know the person. I bring this person up a lot.
Right. Let's see what they do. I know the answer to the riddle, but can't attend tonight.
Who's that? Who knows?
That's Josie Mendoza Geller, a dear friend of the show.
Amazing, Josie.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good job. Dora Sanchez Soto is here. Good morning, Aurora. Dora Sanchez Soto is the proprietor of McCarty Mills Tap Room. And it just so happens that McCarty Mills Tap Room this Saturday is going to be the scene of perhaps the greatest party since the New Year's Eve party of 1969. It probably will be. It's going to be the Good Morning Aurora 2-year anniversary party. Yes, give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. 2-year anniversary party. We're going to have a great time. Food will be by our friends of Corinne's Kitchen. So there will be barbecue and soul food on the menu. It will be great and tasty. I've had Corinne's Kitchen. Many of our listeners have had it. They know it's good. And there will also be culinary delights by Anna's Custom Treats. So you will be able to taste great things like red velvet cupcakes and chocolate dipped strawberries. Now ask yourself, who else got chocolate dipped strawberries? Come on.
That sounds delicious.
Come on. Y'all gonna
I'm
be
thinking
there
about it now. Yeah.
real fancy.
Salivating.
I'm gonna look at all the Snapchats with the nails and the chocolate dip. Ooh, girl, where you was at? Good morning, Aurora. All right. So I'll give you guys the riddle one more time. The riddle is, what walks on 4 legs, what walks on 4 legs, then 2, and then 3. And the question that you can also answer is, a prominent figure in the civil rights movement who was an advocate for human rights. This person also has an upcoming birthday, an educational institute named after them, and was originally from Omaha, Nebraska. Let us know what that is. All right. Where does Nick Thompson hang out in the city of Aurora? Where do you go? What do you do for lunch?
My apartment. I'm very boring. No, I'm kidding. My mama house. No. So it depends, right? It depends what's going on. Mm-hmm. Like I told you, I'm always trying to be immersed in the community. So sometimes it's hanging out at like an Indira where our community fridge is at with Indivisible Aurora, right? Sometimes it is going, I love First Fridays, going out to where people are at. Generally, like, hanging out, I don't go out to bars and nothing like that, so right. I can't give anybody that perspective. Sorry, I guess my life is too boring.
No. That's one of the things I like about you. Yeah, right.
I'll be chilling, man. But I go where the people at. Because I love community. I love being involved, and I love like that sense of camaraderie, right? Mm-hmm. I love being able to give back too, especially if we can throw that into it. So if find me where the people at.
Right. Yeah. Now you're back. You are a filmmaker.
I am.
You are a filmmaker. Let's talk about that. Talk about your background in film, what you've been involved in, and if you care to share, or if you can share, what you have upcoming. If it's TBD, we can remain TBD.
No, we can share it because a lot of this stuff is coming to fruition. So I'm working on technically 3 films at all different stages.
Okay.
The one film I'm working on is a documentary about the city of Elgin.
Okay.
And the 2020 summer rebellions
Okay.
after the murder of George Floyd.
Okay.
And essentially, it is discussing the city's response and this project that came about it called Making Space.
Okay.
And the Making Space project is a host of things, variety of things. And one of them is literally making space to have difficult conversations,
Right.
community spaces, public venues, so that we can have discourse.
Right.
So what came out of this project, Making Space, was a new mural that replaced an old one that had a lot of controversy around it. I'll just say that. A scholarships, plural, that will be given out now, right, that are going to be connected to trying to address equity. And then they had a series of community conversations. And then fourth, finally, they had a documentary about all of this and had to weave the story together.
right.
And that's what it's about. Hopefully, it will be premiering in the end of May. I won't give a date because I have one more meeting today or tomorrow discussing it. And hopefully, it will be premiering in May. But after that, ideally, I won't give too much information on this part. I will be premiering it here in Aurora. I have two places that come to mind that I've talked to some of the people, like preliminary conversations, that I may be premiering it here. And it's going to be a free premiere. Pay what you can, or pay what you want, because I'm going to be using some of the proceeds and money to give to, I'm trying to think, because like this is, well, I'll say this. So there was a very unfortunate event in Elgin, and there was a person who lost their life who was killed by the police department.
Okay.
So that family, I was going to use proceeds from the film to give to the family.
Oh, all right.
So
all right.
that, and then there's two other films I'm working on that I can't give too much information about because they're in the pre-development stages.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
But
we have
one
to
is
stay
about
tuned.
I will say this: one is about Aurora.
Okay.
And it's really, really early, so don't be on the lookout for that one. It's really early. Someone reached out, a really, really great person in the community that folks know, and I'm going to be working on that. And another one I've been working on for probably about a year, and it's on a larger scale, so it's going to take some time. But it's about things that you'd be interested in. It's about international things.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. So Josie says she knows both answers.
Josie on fire.
Oh my goodness
Shout out to
gracious.
Josie.
Who can go tonight? I'll give them to you.
Oh, there you go.
Lord.
Oh.
Should we let Josie, what do you think?
I feel
what's
like-
the time? The time is 8:38. We'll let's let it marinate to like 8:45.
Okay.
Let's let that marinate.
We'll let it marinate.
Let's let it marinate. So let's reiterate though. The riddle is, what walks on 4 legs, then 2 legs, and then 3 legs? Then the question is, a prominent figure in the civil rights movement who was an advocate for human rights. This person has an upcoming birthday, an educational institute named after them, and was originally from Omaha, Nebraska. My mom is here. Curtis, I want 4 tickets. I'm giving them away. What? I'll get you back. But I've also got something else here I want to tell you guys about. Quick news, as you guys think. There is the City of Aurora's Public Art has a call for collage art. The opening reception is going to be Friday, June 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m. with exhibition dates going from the June 3rd to July 23rd this year. Closing reception and catalog release party is going to be Saturday, July 23rd from 1 to 3 p.m. Now, this flyer here that you see, the call for collage art, I don't have a digital copy of it, but you can pick this up with its QR code at Treadwell Coffee here downtown. The submission deadline is, the submission deadline has just passed. Yikes. But you are still able to participate. Mediums accepted are visual art, poetry, music, and sound art. And there is no fee for any of this. For more information, you can contact Vargas C at aurora.io.us. And Monica, I can give this to you, por favor, to put that email address in the chat for the nice folks. Thank you very much. Okay. Claudia, good morning. Good morning, Monica. Hey, for my mom. That's what's up. I love this job. And good morning to Jerome. Okay, so back to Simply Destinee. Now, we had Martin Luna on the show and our dear friend Bertha of the who's also affiliated with the League of Women Voters. One of the things, there's also, have you heard of Happy Thoughts?
Yes.
Suicide prevention
Yeah.
as well. I think they operate at the Aurora Business Center. We mentioned that the topic is being addressed right now, and it has been for a while, about suicide awareness for young people. Are there any areas, kind of a magic wand question? We know the good work is being done, and we're not pessimists. What else can we do, in your opinion? If you had a budget, or if we had a budget, right? What else could we do? Can we strengthen any of these others? We could always be doing better. We know that. But what would you like to see?
Sure. So a couple things come to mind, and it'll always depend on what you currently have.
Right.
'Cause, like I'm an advocate for building and expansion on those, right? And then sometimes if it's needed, consolidation, right? And what consolidation could look like is you give a larger budget to organizations that are doing work, and they expand, give them the space they need to adequately still to operate. Because I believe in diversity. So like you may have 2 or 3 organizations that are doing something similar, but they all have a unique, right, like, service that they provide that should still maintain the integrity of those organizations, but you can consolidate them in a way so that it is the budgets and the resources that they're getting can be more aligned, right? So oftentimes if you have like 2, 3 places to give, now when you give, it can be more collective, right? So I'm big on cooperatives, you know that. I'm always talking about cooperatives and, you know, collective economics. So that would be something that I would advocate for. But also, right, like expanding. All these organizations, if you ask any nonprofit right now, I don't care what level they're at and how much their budget is, they'd have something that they would want that they can't get at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
So, right,
yeah. Yep.
being able to get to a place where we can provide them everything they need, addressing all the needs, right, that we can, so that they don't go without. Because when they go without, then the people who receive the services go without.
Say that again?
If they go without, these organizations that are in our communities, then the people that they provide services to inevitably go without. And I have a lot of examples that I can even get into, but that's what we should be thinking about, right? How can we, you know, most people generally want to give back, want to help their community, and one way to mechanism to do that is the nonprofit sector, right?
Yeah, you're right, because you know what I learned. I guess I saw it. I didn't just learn, but when the pandemic happened and the food pantry ran out of food, right? You're not thinking that. You're not thinking that a food pantry is going to run out of food, but it's through the help of the Northern Illinois Food Bank, amongst other entities, that help to keep and donations for people here. So yeah, you're right. When the nonprofit suffers, the people that it helps suffer as well, and that is unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I do think though that, and this is just me, when I look at Aurora from like a bird's eye view, I think that some of the services are a little bit too far from downtown though, and I guess it wouldn't, you know, I trust the city's economic development team to decide what's right and proper and where it should be. And I guess perhaps you wouldn't want a food pantry in the middle of downtown. But I do think that proximity matters too. And I wonder sometimes if some of our services are a little bit too far from the people who need them. Do you feel that way, or you know, what do you think about that?
I have 2 perspectives. So the first one is, you know, when we do things, we should never do cookie cutter things. We should actually get a material analysis on what is actually needed.
Right.
And then that requires research and taking data and making informed decisions. So before we make something, for example, right, like we have a lot of this is an example. We have a lot of coffee shops downtown, right?
Right.
If someone came to me and was like, I'm gonna build a coffee shop downtown, I'd be like, you probably shouldn't do that.
Right.
For your own good, but also it's already arguably, you could say, oversaturated. We don't need another coffee shop. Not that the coffee shop's not a great idea. Let's go somewhere else, right?
Right.
So being cognizant of what's already around the area and proximity is important. And when we came up with the community fridge, that's 24 hours, right? This mutual aid project, that's something we took in consideration. We're like, how can we make sure that people who already use the library, who use the train station, because a lot of unhoused folks do that,
right,
but also a place where people who are, you know, who perhaps are on the precipice, right, of that. Maybe they're housed, but they still face food insecurity, which is oftentimes the case. People just don't think about that. Food insecurity hits a wide range of people. We thought about that though, proximity, and we thought downtown would be a great place to begin, and it has been. We've seen incredible results, and we've seen a lot of people use it to the point where we're needing more people to be fridge managers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So That's one example, right? But the second way to answer your question is, I've heard the opposite argument where like people say there's too much stuff downtown, that the west and east side are neglected. So my answer to all that together comprehensively would be say, let's find out what people actually need instead of just throwing darts at a board and guessing, right? Like, how can we utilize data to say, what does the west side actually need? And that way you're not trying to, you can almost artificially create a demand for whatever it is, especially if it's in the private sector, it's in the private sector. You're creating demand because it's needed. People are going to go need. If you put something, let's say you put a business or a service somewhere where it's not needed, it's going to struggle, and then that's going to be a waste of a resource. It's not that a resource wasn't needed in the city, it wasn't needed there.
Right.
So how can we make sure we're putting things where they need to be? And then after that, how can we ensure that it is accessible to those who need it? So proximity is important. City planning, that's why we have a great team. People like Alex Manila, Dave, Debo, and all of them over there, Trevor, Moriyama, all of them, they do an incredible job in economic development.
Trevor Dick, what up?
That's the big homie, yeah. And, there's so many thoughts that go into it, right? You want synergy. Also, you want things in proximity to resources that just make sense, right? Like things next to each other that are cohesive, right? And there's so much thought that I think that needs to go into it. But you do raise a good point, right? Like proximity is something that we should be mindful of. And where are we putting the services? But if we're doing it informed by data, I think that makes the answer and the question a lot easier, right?
Right.
So then we know, like, well, this is needed here. Let's put that there instead of, say, on the west side. We'll put it in the middle of the city because this is where the most people need it.
Right. The time is 8:47. Okay, let's get those answers. Because these tickets, y'all. Hold on. These tickets are hot. You see that? And my mom's gonna want her own tickets and all that. It's a problem of being a radio host now. Your mom wants the perks that you're trying to give other people. I'll see if I can get you some theater tickets again. Okay. Now here are the tickets, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, you will not actually get these physical tickets. Your name will be presented and you will be allowed in at the door this evening. Starts at 6:00 p.m. at Gaslight Manor, 2485 Church Road. Interesting about Gaslight Manor, real quick. Gaslight Manor is where, Martin Luna, I went there for a quince. And I got there a little late, fashionably. And we had nowhere to sit. Martin Luna saw me walk in and let us sit at his table. That was really big.
Stand up, brother.
That was a really good stand up brother kind of thing. Because I found honestly, what I was gonna do is the old, I don't know if it teach you guys a little something. Stand by the bar. Play the wall. That way people come. You can't be missed. Play the background of the wall. But we didn't have to do that, so we were able to sit down. Fabiola, good morning. Fabiola was a guest on Buenos Dias Aurora yesterday. Fabiola works for the Aurora Public Library and a dear friend. Okay, what is the answers, ladies and gentlemen? Give us what you got. You can, Josie, if you would like to, you can give us the answers. And then she can give us who she wants the tickets to go to. Or should we give them, because we got an easy one. Throw the easy one out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can throw the easy one.
We can throw the easy one out there? All right. Sarah Jane S. Simeon, good morning. What year was Aurora incorporated? Boom, ting. What year was Aurora incorporated, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know that in the chat as well. The time is 8:50. While you guys think about that, Monica, if you could please take me to a commercial real quick, because I have, it qualifies. Maria Magdalena, good morning to you. Okay, listen to this, you guys. Listen to this. Aurora Lions donate $500 to Hesed House. That was the message from Adam Zapfel. He's the shelter volunteer and community engagement coordinator. He explained the shelter operations and the need for volunteers at the Aurora Noon Lions Club membership meeting at Luigi's Pizza in Aurora. Hesed House hosts 8 ministries: PADS Overnight Emergency Shelter, PADS Daytime Program, the PADS Family Shelter, Harbor Permanent Supportive Housing, the Seeds Case Management Lighthouse Permanent supportive housing, and Carpenters Homeless Prevention, and the LEAP Advocacy. The Aurora Noon Lions donated $500 to Hesed House. Great work. Adult shelter volunteer opportunities include breakfast, lunch, and dinner shifts in the men's shelter, dinner shift in the women's and family shelters, and overnight monitors. Other volunteer opportunities are admin assistants, move-out teams, clothing store, groundkeepers, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner donations. The volunteer coordinator said the shelter is rebuilding its volunteer base after most were shut out during the pandemic. Jen Ingram is here. Good morning to you, Jen. All right. You can win tickets tonight to Gaslight Manor's Dancing with the Stars event, Simply Destinee Youth Center. The proceeds benefit Simply Destinee, dancing, silent auction, and mental health awareness. Now, here's the questions, ladies and gentlemen. What year was Aurora incorporated? Since y'all didn't get the riddle. Y'all ain't get the riddle. Ain't nobody can come on. That riddle.
It's good.
I've been knocking them dead since
I only got like 90% of it, so like, yeah.
It's a good riddle. What year was Aurora incorporated? First person who answers that question gets these tickets. Go ahead and type that in the chat. Rue is here. Good morning to you, Rue. Get to know our dear friend Rue, the housewife of Aurora. She is a great person, and she's got an engaging TikTok. Follow her on TikTok as well. What year was Aurora incorporated? 2 tickets. Date night. Get dressed up.
Said the answer for the riddle.
Oh, nice.
Hit the claps for Josie. Josie? Josie got it.
Good job.
That's it. Josie Mendoza Gallner. Shout out to Josie and Ben. Josie got it. Holy cow. Look at that. Look at that. Josie got the tickets, but Josie mentioned that she can't go tonight, so she is going to give them to somebody who can. So what we'll do after this, you know what we'll do? I'll make a like a Facebook conversation with myself, yourself, and Josie,
Mm-hmm.
and if you'd like to coordinate with her for the tickets and see who she'd like to
Absolutely.
put in her stead.
All we have to do is get the name, so that should be really easy.
Okay. Josie, I'm going to start a conversation, and you can put the names of who you'd like to go, and we'll get the contact information squared away. And, you know, it feels good to say thank you for playing.
We have
all right.
another response.
Oh, nice.
What we got?
Ruby.
Rue, 1845. No. We don't have a womp womp, but no. Aurora was not incorporated in 1845. It was not. Should I tell them what year Aurora was incorporated? We already got it, yeah. Aurora was incorporated in 1857.
Indeed.
Yes.
They were close, though.
Yeah.
Really close.
I got it on my shirt, so a brother looked. Oh, what time was this? Yeah, 1857. 1857. And in fact, who were the people who incorporated Aurora? I'll give you a hint. Part of the name is also going to be part of Good Morning Aurora's 2-year anniversary party.
McCarty Mills. Yeah.
That's right. Bam.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. All right, the time is 8:54 a.m. We talked about Simply Destinee.
Indeed.
We talked about mental health awareness. We talked about suicide prevention. We talked about youth. We also mentioned, we'll look up Triumph or some.
I think it's called Surge, I want to say.
Okay, for
And
ladies,
then-
right?
for
ladies.
girls,
yeah.
And then for Latinx students at Wabonda, they also have the mentoring and resource. It's called Caminos. I forget what it stands for.
Streets.
No. There's it's an acronym.
Oh.
So it's CAMINO. But yeah, that's
Right.
correct. But I forgot what the acronym
Buenos
stands
Dias,
for.
Aurora got me lit with the Spanish. Come
Yeah,
on.
I'm currently learning Spanish. I'm on Duolingo. I'm on my 50th day streak.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
But yeah, so Caminos is there. Wabonzi, you have Surge and Triumph, and those are mentoring programs for college-age students.
Okay, very good, very good. The McCarty brothers, Samuel and Joseph. Time's 8:55. Anything we missed?
I wouldn't say so. I'd probably just wrap up with, again, if you can, support our organizations, nonprofits, but non-designated too, because there's a lot of organizations out here that aren't, necessarily recognized by the state, but are doing important work. So,
Right.
Support that. Support things that I'm biased, like Indivisible in the food program. And it's not always monetarily, right? We have bridge managers, people who we train, and we talk about like the sanitary, aspects of it and how we interact with our community and things like that, and give you resources to be someone effective at it, and support organizations like Aurora Rapid Response Team.
Right.
I can go on. If I start naming too many, if I'm gonna leave someone out, but like find something that aligns with your values,
Right.
that aligns with your virtues, and go support it. Right? Because people are always asking me, how can I be more involved in the community? And my first thought always is like, well, what are you passionate about, right? What do you care about? And because we all care about something. It could be art, it could be youth, it could be the environment, it could be just social justice of some sort, And I promise you, somewhere in Aurora it's happening, and you can go support it and bolster the efforts. I promise you, because if you can give 1 hour a month to an organization, they will greatly appreciate it. Because I work with a lot of these organizations, especially smaller ones.
Yep.
And they're always working on a shoestring budget, right? They're always working on limited resources. And if you came and you just gave an hour a month, amazing if you give an hour a week, you would be doing so much for them. And then it's fulfilling because you build community, right?
Right.
You learn more in the same way because you're learning now. You're a part of something. And that's how you really build strong, safe, prosperous communities like that.
Yeah. I volunteered for the same organization I now work for. It's really, man, what you pay in is what you will get out. It will happen. The show ends on a positive note, and I think that was that positive note, man. That was a really good note. One more time, you guys, this is the event being supported this evening. Please, if you are unfamiliar with our friends of Simply Destinee, get to know them. Shouts out to our dear friend Martin, Luna, and Liza Oliva as well. Simply Destinee is located at 122 West Downer Place. It's in the Legal Arts Building, which also houses Gremlin Studios, and on the corner is Aurora Tap House. The city's doing good. Things are looking great. We appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Thank you very much. We appreciate our friend Nick here for coming on to the show to talk to us once again. Take care of yourself and each other.
Peace.